every moment matters, and I'm just grateful we're all together again.
In a KUTV 2 News exclusive, for the very first time, we're hearing from Navy Lieutenant Ridge Alkonis after he served 537 days in a Japanese prison. It is our top story on 2 News at 6. I'm Heidi Hatch.
And I'm Jamie McGriff. The case gained worldwide attention as his family and supporters rallied to get him out. Amanda Gilbert is live after talking to Alkonis about his experience in prison overseas. Amanda.
Yeah, 2 News has spoken with Ridge's wife, Brittany, several times while he was in prison. Now that he is out of prison, back in the U.S., having recently attended the State of the Union last week, we wanted to talk to the man at the center of this story. Ridge Alkonis is readjusting to life with his family after 537 days behind bars.
Just to be a dad and a husband again has been just such a joy.
It was this car crash, May 2021, near Mount Fuji, where Navy Lieutenant Ridge Alkonis lost consciousness while driving, killing 2 people. A judge in Japan sentenced him to 3 years in prison for negligence, but his family feels this was not justifiable.
The story that when our president sends our service members overseas, they deserve basic due process and human rights, that's not hard to understand, and it's very easy to see where Ridge was failed in that regard.
KUTV followed wife Brittany Alkonis' journey as she protested outside the White House, and Utah lawmakers spoke on her behalf. They said her husband should not be in prison overseas.
She let her love for me and our family drive her to places that most people thought were impossible.
Now he's back home.
No prison is a good prison. I'll put it that way. It is very difficult to be in such isolation, and a Japanese prison is no exception to that.
During the 18 months, he had limited communication, a total of 5 30-minute supervised visits with his family.
I was able to send 12 letters a month to various friends and family if they were on the approved list.
Most of his time spent in a prison cell.
I read 192 books in the 537 days that I was in prison.
But he also found himself in a tailor shop making prison clothes.
Now I have a skill that has come out of that, and that's been a great joy to me and hopefully a benefit to my family moving forward.
He says letters of support meant a lot during isolation.
I just could not be more grateful for the amount of time and effort that people put forth to make sure that I still felt loved and not forgotten, because it's easy to feel alone and isolated in a prison.
Years later, he acknowledges the grief of the families of the 2 who were killed.
There are families that were involved with this accident that will always be, but they're sad still.
And he says he has a new perspective.
Every minute is so much more important to me now than it once was.
And a reminder, it was back in December when Alkonis was transferred from Japan to a detention center in Los Angeles. And after reviewing his case, all the details, the U.S. Parole Commission released him. He says what's next? He will continue to serve in the Navy. Amanda Gilbert, KUTV 2 News.